The clock is ticking. Are you listening? Have you ever scrolled through your phone seeing pictures? Ancient ruins in Greece, vibrant markets in Thailand? You see friends living these incredible adventures, strangers living these incredible adventures? A feeling creeps in. It's a mix of envy and longing. It's the fear of missing out. FOMO. This isn't just about missing a party, this is about missing out on life itself. The world is a massive, beautiful, and endlessly fascinating place. Every day you wait is a day another traveler is out there, making memories you're only dreaming about. They're tasting street food in Vietnam, hiking Patagonian glaciers, learning from people totally different from them. That could be you, that little voice in your head that says someday is the most dangerous travel thief there is. It promises a future that might never come. It convinces you to stay comfortable, to wait for the perfect moment. But here's the secret. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The clock is always ticking, counting down the opportunities you have to see the world. I remember meeting a man named David in a guest house in Colombia. He was in his late 40s, a successful lawyer from Canada, on his first ever long-term trip. He was having the time of his life, learning salsa, hiking to lost cities, and making friends with people half his age. But one evening, over a couple of beers, he confessed something to me. He'd been dreaming of this trip since he was 22. For over 2 decades he put it off, first for law school, then to build his career, then for a mortgage. He thought he was being responsible. Now he was finally here, but he couldn't shake the feeling of all the lost years. Matt, I love this, but my knees hurt on the hikes. I get tired by 10 p.m. I see these kids in the hostel full of endless energy, and I see myself at their age. I could have done this then. I could have done it 5 more times by now. David's story isn't unique. It's a narrative I hear constantly. People wait for retirement only to find their health isn't what it used to be. They wait for the kids to grow up, only to find they've forgotten how to be spontaneous and adventurous. The regret is palpable. It's the ghost of a younger self who was ready for an adventure that never happened. Then there was Sarah, a woman I met in New Zealand. She was 35 and had just quit her marketing job to travel for a year. There's a certain magic to traveling when you're young. It's not just about having the physical energy to hike all day, dance all night, it's a mindset. When you're young, you're a sponge. You're still figuring out who you are, and the world becomes your classroom. Every new culture, every challenging situation, every person you meet shapes you in a profound way. Your 20s are a formative decade. Traveling during this time doesn't just give you cool stories, it builds the very foundation of the person you will become. You learn resilience, independence, empathy. Think about the practicalities. When you're younger, you often have fewer attachments, no mortgage, no spouse, no kids, no established career path. Your life is a blank canvas. It's so much easier to pack a bag and go. You can sleep in noisy 18-bed dorm rooms without a care in the world. You can eat cheap street food for a week straight. Your body is more forgiving. Your tolerance for discomfort is higher. This isn't to say you can't travel when you're older, but the style of travel often has to change. The gritty, shoestring budget backpacking that leads to the most unexpected adventures is a young person's game. What do you really lose when you wait? It's not just about the trips you don't take, it's about the person you don't become. Travel is a catalyst for personal growth. It forces you out of your comfort zone, challenges your assumptions, and teaches you how to solve problems on the fly. When your bus breaks down in the middle of Cambodia, you learn patience, resourcefulness. When you have to navigate a city where you don't speak the language, you learn self-reliance and communication beyond words. These are not small things. These are life skills that make you a more capable and confident human being in every area of your life. By delaying travel, you are delaying this growth. You remain in your bubble, where things are predictable and you are rarely challenged. You miss out on the chance to build resilience. Life is going to throw curveballs at you whether you travel or not, but travelers are better equipped to handle them. They've dealt with uncertainty, they've navigated chaos, they know that things can go wrong and that they have the ability to figure it out. Staying home waiting for the right time is like refusing to build up your emotional and mental immunity. When challenges inevitably arise in your life, you'll be less prepared to face them. I'll travel when I have more money. This is the #1 excuse I hear. It's the biggest lie we tell ourselves. Calendar. Someday crossed out to today. We imagine we need a massive bank account. I've seen people travel on less than living at home. Budget travel is vast and accessible. Hostels for a few dollars a night, street food for pennies, public transport to get around cheaply. Waiting for a magical pile of cash is an excuse. If you want it badly, you can find a way now. Start small. Another chapter in the myth. I'll travel when I finish my degree. I'll travel after I get that promotion. I'll travel once I'm settled in my career. We create arbitrary goalposts. After the degree, job hunt. After the promotion, more responsibility. Once settled, mortgage, car payment, a life harder to untangle. The perfect time is a moving target. The real perfect time is when you decide to make it happen, regardless of your circumstances. Then there's the fear of putting your career on hold. Travel is a huge asset in a globalized world. These are the soft skills employers want. That gap can be a competitive advantage. Let's be honest. For many, the real reason for waiting isn't money or time. It's fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of being alone. Fear of something going wrong. Your brain is wired to keep you safe, and safe means familiar. Your couch is familiar. Your hometown is familiar. A chaotic market in Marrakesh is not. It's natural to feel a knot in your stomach when you think about stepping so far out of your comfort zone. But every amazing thing in life happens on the other side of that fear. You have to walk through it. The fear of traveling solo is a big one, especially for first-timers. What if I get lonely? What if I can't make friends? What if something happens and there's no one there to help me? These are valid questions, but they are based on a misunderstanding of solo travel. You are rarely ever truly alone. The backpacker trail is a well-worn path. Hostels are social hubs designed to help you meet people. Within hours of arriving, you'll likely find yourself in a conversation with someone from the other side of the world. You learn that you are more capable and resilient than you ever imagined. Solo travel doesn't lead to loneliness. It leads to self-discovery. It's a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Fear shrinks when you walk towards it. It thrives when you run away. So you're inspired, you feel that pull, you don't want to be David or Sarah looking back with regret. But planning a round-the-world trip feels overwhelming. Where do you even begin? Stop thinking about the whole journey. Focus on the very first step. It's not as monumental as you think. Your first step isn't boarding a plane to Bangkok, it's deciding you are going to make this happen. It's a shift from I wish to I will. That's the biggest step. After that, the next step becomes clear. Open a dedicated savings account. Call it My Adventure Fund or Escape Plan. Set up an automatic weekly transfer, even $20. Habit beats amount. This makes the goal real. You're now actively working toward it. Cut small, unnecessary expenses. That daily $5 latte, $150 a month, $1,800 a year. That's a flight to Europe. Or 2 months backpacking Southeast Asia. Consume travel information. Actively. Don't just daydream. Pick a region. Say Southeast Asia. Read blogs about backpacking in Thailand. Look up hostel prices in Chiang Mai. Check street food costs. Research the best time to visit. We have a tendency to think of the world as a static place, a museum of landmarks that will always be there for us to see, but this is a dangerous illusion. The world is changing and it's changing fast. That pristine, untouched beach you saw in a photo from 10 years ago, it might be lined with mega resorts today. Visual pair. Before and after beach, empty versus crowded. That ancient temple, once quiet and serene, it might now be swarmed by thousands of tourists herded behind velvet ropes. Over-tourism is a real problem. The world's most beautiful spots are becoming more crowded and regulated each year. It's not just about crowds. Political situations change. A country that is safe and open to travelers today might be closed off tomorrow due to conflict or instability. Visa policies can become stricter. Economies can fluctuate, making a cheap destination suddenly expensive. I've seen this happen time and time again. There were places I wanted to go that I put off, only to find the window of opportunity had closed when I was finally ready. The world does not pause and wait for you to get your life in order. It keeps spinning, and things change. Even more profoundly, the planet itself is changing. The world isn't waiting for you. We've talked about the voices of regret, the magic of youth, and the myths that hold us back. We've talked about the real, unseen price of waiting. The growth you postpone, the memories you don't make, and the perspective you don't gain. We've seen that fear is just an obstacle to be overcome, and that the first step is smaller than you think. But comfort is the enemy of adventure. Comfort is the thief of a life fully lived. You are standing at a crossroads. Down one path is the familiar road. It's safe, predictable, and lined with the expectations of others. It's the path of someday. Down the other path is a trail that leads into the unknown. It's challenging, a little bit scary, but it winds through the most incredible landscapes imaginable. It's the path of right now. Every traveler you admire, every person whose life of adventure you envy, chose the second path. They weren't braver or richer or luckier than you. They just made a different choice. They chose to prioritize experiences over excuses. Imagine yourself 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now. You're looking back on your life. Will you be the person telling a younger traveler, "I wish I had started sooner"? Or will you be the person with a twinkle in your eye, full of incredible stories from a life rich with adventure? The actions you take today will write that future. Now that you know the biggest regret most travelers have, what are you going to do to make sure it isn't yours?